Whoa, we're a lousy bunch. To tell the truth, role models run around me much. On a bad day, you could say I'm sweeter than ice cream. They told me to be nicer and I told them to bite me. I know they wanna be next to me. Know they wanna be next to me. Know they wanna.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Layla. Welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be the start of my paranormal series. For the month of October, I'm going to do exactly what I did last year. I'm going to be doing one paranormal story time every week for the month of October. And again, just like last year, I'm going to be visiting every single location that I do a video on. You get the full tour, the history, and my personal thoughts on the area. So, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button below. I upload videos every Sunday and Wednesday. Go ahead and get started. I'm not going to ramble too much, hopefully. So, I did go to Banff not too long ago to do a hike. I did a whole vlog there. I will leave the link in the description bar below if you guys want to check it out. So basically my friend and I went there to go to the cave and basins and do a hike, and then we had some extra time on our hands, and I've always wanted to visit the Banff Springs Hotel. I really did want to stay at the Banff Springs Hotel, but you guys, this is like a 4.5, 5-star hotel. Like, for one night, it would have been like $500. And with $500, girl, I could fly to like Toronto or something, you know? So we decided to stay somewhere else, and then we were gonna drive around, try to find the hotel, but my friend knew exactly where it was because she's been there so many times. She's like, how have you not been there before? Let's go on a tour. I'm like, okay. So I did go to the hotel, and so I will tell you guys a little bit about my experiences first before I get into the whole history and why it's haunted, etc. So the outside, oh my gosh, it is something out of a movie. It's crazy. If you are ever in the Alberta area, whether you're from Edmonton, Calgary, it's worth the drive just to, like, you know, go for a day hike in the mountains and you know, to explore Banff a little bit. It's one of the top places that I highly recommend you going because it is beautiful. It looks like you're in a movie. It looks like something from the 1800s. It is from the 1800s, by the way. It just looks so beautiful on the outside. So then when I walked inside, it was really weird because I feel like they spray perfume or something into their vents, because as soon as you walk inside, it has like this inviting smell. Kind of smells a little similar to when you go into an Abercrombie or into a Hollister. You guys know that sort of like cologne smell. It's really just like inviting me in. So that's the first thing that I noticed about the hotel. Second thing I noticed was there was a lot of people. There was a lot of tourists, there was a lot of guests, then there was a lot of people just using their spa or their restaurant facilities. So it was packed. Partially, I feel like because it was Labor Day long weekend, so a lot of people were in the area, I guess. So it was pretty packed. Inside looked just as how I was expecting it to look. It looked very elegant. It looked like you were stepping back in time to another era. It just looked so nice, and you guys will see that later on when I do the tour at the end of the video. The only weird thing that I came across, I don't know if I really got it on camera, I'm pretty sure I did. My friend and I went to the second floor, and then there was like this little nook area. There was a bunch of chairs facing into nothing, which I found sort of weird. Like, it looked like, you know, if you were at church, you know how the chairs are sort of all lined up, or the pews are lined up and they're facing toward the chapel, right? So it was the same situation, but it was facing to nothing. Like, it was really weird. And the chairs looked like they were original, like, antiques that belonged to the building when they first built it. So I found that really interesting. So I did a little bit of exploring there. Didn't really feel anything particularly eerie about the building. It just felt like it had a lot of history, and like I said, the smell was just like very inviting. I don't know if it always smells like that in there, but I was just like a little bit shocked. I was like, oh, it smells so nice in here, like I want to go in, you know? So I took a bunch of notes here, as well as I did a little bit of research last night on the Banff Springs Hotel, and I do have one story and a couple pictures that I'm going to be also showing you guys, so hopefully this video isn't too long. Alright, so the Banff Springs Hotel is actually 130 years old, and so the building structure is based upon a castle in Scotland, so that's why it looks crazy outside. It's so beautiful, I can't even explain it. It does really look like a castle. So the first haunting, and the most common haunting, and the story that you hear about the most took place in the 1920s. Basically, on a young couple's wedding day, the bride was going down one of the hotel staircases when something startled her, causing her to slip and fall. Some say she caught her heel on the hem of her dress, and others say that her dress brushed up against a candle's flame. Regardless, the bride died on those steps. She fell to her death. Since then, the hotel staff and guests have reported seeing a veiled figure moving up and down the stairs and seeing a figure in a wedding dress dancing in the upstairs ballroom, planning for a first dance with her husband that she never had. When I read that, I was like, what? I'm a little shook here. It's actually really sad and a little bit terrifying. A lot terrifying, actually. So that is one of the most common ghosts that you will hear about, that a lot of staff know about, and that is just what the hotel is basically known for. The second ghost that haunts the hotel is Sam the bellman. So he was a Scottish head bellman in the 1960s and 1970s. He had passed away in 1975, actually a helpful ghost. Sam haunts his old office, which is now a guest suite. Sam loved the hotel so much that he kept coming back. So he would retire and then he would come back to work. And he promised that he would haunt the hotel from the beyond before he died. A lot of people experiencing apparitions of him and feeling cold spots on the 6th, 7th, and 9th floors. Pretty recently, 2 elderly women witnessed his apparition because they were waiting at the desk for some help because their hotel key wasn't working, and Sam ended up helping them. And when they explained to hotel staff what he looked like, it was exactly Sam's description. In specific rooms that are haunted, pillows are yanked from under people's heads and people report being pushed off the bed at night. So the third haunting in this hotel, this is actually really eerie and really, I just hate reading stories like this. It's so sad. So an entire family was murdered in this hotel, and guests wake up hearing screaming. When they would turn the lights on, bloody handprints were on the mirrors. Sometimes they would either disappear when guests called staff to clean up the bloody mess, or the staff would show up and they couldn't get the blood off the mirrors. Whew, I don't know how I would feel if I experienced that. That's insane. So the floor where the room is located that this family was murdered on is completely covered and inaccessible. And depending on who you talk to, some hotel staff will say that this area is under renovation, and some people just say that it's permanently closed. So that's the 3 main ghosts that haunt the hotel. So the family that got murdered, Sam the bellman, and the ghost bride. I did find a website that was very helpful in my research. I will link them below, and I found this story in the comment section, and I just had to read it for you guys because I just found it very, very interesting, and I want to get your guys' opinion on it too. After I read this, I will roll the tour as well as a couple pictures at the end. The pictures that I found on this particular website were actually really scary because you could definitely see something in the air. So let me go ahead and read the story. I found your website while trying to find some information on the history surrounding the weird little wing that we stayed at the past 2 nights in the Banff Springs Hotel. We had room 914, which my husband was staying on the 9th ¾ Harry Potter reference, because it's actually on the 10th floor. You get off the regular elevator. You get off against the outside wall and a small little elevator which you have to use to get to the 9th, 11th, and 12th floors. Interestingly, all hotel rooms on these 3 floors are given the starting number of 9, and they aren't on the 9th floor at all. Anyways, there was only 4 rooms altogether on our small little floor, and I'm not sure any of them were in use because we saw nobody else except for 1 cleaning person, whom I'm assuming was an actual live person and not an apparition. I tell you this so you know it's most unlikely that anyone was walking past the room and trying the door repeatedly all night. This is what happened on both nights. We stayed on the 14th and 15th. All night long, every few minutes, there was a distinct sound of someone trying the door and finding it locked. My husband was already asleep before the noise had first started. At first, assumed it was a draft causing the door to move in the frame a bit, so I attempted to stop the movement by putting a heavy couch pillow up against the door so it would stop the problem, which went on throughout the night. The noise did not happen during the daylight hours, and I forgot all about it until the last night when it was actually my husband who noticed the first sound at midnight, same time that it started the night before. He commented on it and started looking for something to put up against the door to stop it, assuming like me that it was a draft. I have no idea if it was a ghost occurrence or not, but I did grow up in Victoria, BC and spent many years of my life living and staying in century-old houses. I'm very familiar with the sound a closed door will make when a draft hits it, a small movement in the frame. This was different. It was distinctly the sound of someone trying the handle of the door, finding it locked. Really didn't register the first night as I was already asleep when it started, so I did the pillow thing in a little bit of a fog when I woke up. Yesterday morning I looked at the pillow and wondered why it hadn't fixed the issue. Then I realized the sound of the door being tried. I decided I was having an overactive imagination. I didn't think twice about it until I heard it again the next night. If it was a ghost, he or she was just being mischievous, as the noise would occur and be loud enough to wake me up, and then I drift back off to be woken up by it again a little while later. That's what happened. If you have any information regarding strange things that happen on the 9th floor, I'd love to hear about it. So this is one of many interesting comments that I did see on this person's website, and this was the most detailed, I guess, because it was a whole paragraph. A lot of people have had different kinds of experiences staying in the hotel, and a lot of people see things. A lot of people are woken up at all hours of the night seeing apparitions and stuff like that. So if you want to visit a place, or if you have the money to stay in an expensive hotel, I highly recommend checking out the Banff Springs Hotel and spending the night there. Whether or not you believe in ghosts though, this hotel is a really interesting place to check out if you are in the Alberta area. I hope you guys enjoyed the first video of my paranormal series. Another one that I'm going to be doing for sure is going to be on the Rouge in Calgary and Inglewood. So expect that one probably next or the one after that, and then I have to think about 2 more locations that I want to visit, but the Banff Springs Hotel was definitely a highlight this year. So I will roll the clip of the tour, and I really do hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button below if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you guys soon in my next video. Bye everyone.
Baby, you my everything. you all I ever wanted. We could do it real big, bigger than you ever done it. You be up on everything, other hoes ain't never